And welcome back. It's Frankie Boyer. Joining us today is Dr. Brad Rodu, a professor of medicine at the University of Louisville. And he holds an endowed chair in tobacco harm reduction research. And so there is this controversy all over the world about smokeless tobacco. What is smokeless tobacco?
It's great to be back on your show. Smokeless tobacco is tobacco you place in your mouth instead of in sticks that you light on fire and inhale the smoke. So smokeless tobacco allows people to enjoy nicotine and tobacco safely as opposed to the smoke.
So there's been a lot of controversy about this, that it causes cancer. Are all smokeless tobaccos alike?
Well, the smokeless tobacco is available in the U.S., dip and chew products, and smokeless tobacco is available in Sweden, and they call it snus, are vastly safer than smoking. And the Swedes have done a lot of research. Previous studies have shown that snus use is not linked to any mouth cancer. And now new research shows that snus is not linked to pancreatic cancer, which is an especially deadly form.
Okay. Let me ask you a question. What exactly is it, though? Tell us what it is.
Well, snus is finely ground tobacco that you either tuck inside your lip with, you can take a pinch and tuck inside your lip, or it's available in small little tea bag-like pouches. And it can be used invisibly. There's no spitting with snus, and you can use it in any social situation. So it's discreet, and it's far safer than burning tobacco and inhaling smoke. You still get nicotine satisfaction, and by the way, nicotine doesn't cause any disease.
Right. So for people that are heavy smokers going on a long plane ride, this would be a perfect solution for them. Or if you're in an event where smoking is not allowed. And most buildings and workplaces are smoke-free today. And, I see them congregating outside with their cigarettes. And quite honestly, it's offensive when you walk by because that smoke just hits you.
Well, that's exactly right. Smokers can easily use these products when they're indoors or on a long plane flight, and they'll soon realize that these products satisfy, that they don't need to smoke when they get their satisfaction in a smoke-free delivery system. In fact, that's exactly how e-cigarettes deliver. They deliver the same feelings as when you smoke, but you're not inhaling the tar and other toxic chemicals.
So, how many adult smokers try to quit every year and fail?
Well, we have lots of smokers that try to quit. Millions and millions of smokers quit. And they use the products that are recommended by federal health authorities and health organizations like nicotine gum and patch and various prescription drugs. The problem is maximum only 5 to 7% of smokers who try are able to quit with these products. They just can't live without cigarettes, nicotine, and tobacco. And so that's why these newer, safer, smokeless products fit the bill for those smokers.
As an ex-smoker, and it's been so many years since I've had a cigarette. I have to be honest with you, it's been about 35 years maybe. I only smoked for a couple of years, for several years. Enough, but, and I was a very, very heavy smoker. I was 2 to 3 packs a day. Easy 2 to 3 packs a day. I did everything with a cigarette in my mouth. I used a system that's no longer available today, but it was back then, and it took me a year to wean myself off the cigarettes and to physically withdraw from the nicotine and the desire to smoke. And it took that long, and then finally I just was able to give it up completely. And so I just can empathize with smokers. Not an easy habit to break, Doctor.
Absolutely not. And first, congratulations on having been able to quit successfully and stay quit. Many smokers can't do that, and that's what we're talking about. We're talking about options for them, those smokers who can't abstain, who don't, who just feel like they can't live a normal life without using some form of nicotine.
Yeah. It's really one of the hardest addictions to give up. It really is. I'm not kidding. It really is. It's
well,
tough.
It's Frankie,
a very tough addiction.
Frankie, Mark Twain said it was one of the easiest things he ever did because he did it hundreds of times.
Yeah. See, I didn't want to be one of those habituals. I didn't want to be one of those habituals. I'm going to give it up, and then do it and not be successful. So when I finally said, I cannot stand the way my lungs are feeling, I cannot stand the fact that it felt like, 100 soldiers had been tromping in my mouth every day, cannot stand the smell, cannot stand any of it. It was that moment when I realized that I had to give it up. And I also was a jogger at the time. And it's so paradoxical. I was a runner. Can you imagine smoking a cigarette right after? And it was like really tough to find a place to put the cigarettes and the lighter after I went running. And it was like, this is insanity. Gosh.
Absolutely.
And so,
absolutely.
And when I gave up, I just have to say, when I gave up the smoking, one of my dearest friends that I ran with, I was always trailing behind her, always. And of course, when I gave up cigarettes, I just wiped her out in the dust.
Bravo.
It was, yeah.
Well, and the other thing is, I've spent my career at major cancer centers here in the U.S. And what I want to do is stop the incessant march of smokers into the lung cancer clinics and prevent those people getting sick before their time.
Yes. I think you're making tremendous sense. It is such it's such an expensive habit today too.
Absolutely. Smokers can save money when they switch to these safer products as well.
Oh, absolutely. There's no doubt about it. So the question is, tell us about, by the way, the Swedish experience.
Well, when I started doing this research 20-some years ago, I started looking at lung cancer statistics around the world because, as you know, lung cancer is the sentinel disease of smoking. We know how much a society smokes by their lung cancer rates. And I noticed that Sweden had an incredible record. For the past 50 years, Swedes, especially Swedish men, have had the lowest lung cancer rates in the entire developed world. And I knew I had to get over there and find out why that was. And it turns out it's because more Swedish men use snus. So they've used it not only as a replacement product, but in order to quit cigarettes if they become addicted to cigarettes.
Yeah.
And so
hey, Doctor,
that's
give us the
best Swedish experience.
Give us the best website to find out more information on the work that you've been doing all these years, please.
Rodu, R-O-D-U, Tobacco Truth. That's my blog. You'll find
wonderful.
tons of information there.
Always a pleasure, Doctor. Thank you so much for being with us. And
Same
we will
here,
be
Frankie.
back in just a moment. Yeah, we'll be right back. Frankie Boyer, stay tuned right here on Biz Talk Radio. BizTalkRadio.com, FrankieBoyer.com.